Good evening. You're listening live to the Xtreme Movie Show. I'm your host, Rob, broadcasting to you from the Xtreme Studios in the Pine Hills Palace, just west of Orlando, Florida. I have from the Great Midwest RDV with me tonight, as well as locally the young 20-something Gen Z, whatever we want to call him, Professor Pixel. And gentlemen, welcome to 2024. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about some of the first 10 or so movies of the year that kind of piqued our interest. It's certainly by no means an exhaustive list or an order of what we think is going to be the best, but we wanted to kind of just do a preview like we usually do seasonally of some films that immediately have come out to mind that we're aware of. Now, of course, these are American releases, and sometimes the dates may change, things happen and all that. But it's something we like to do here because one thing that we always appreciate here on the Xtreme Movie Show is the engagement we have with the fans and the audience that let us know movies that they want us to cover, because even though we're 80s based, we like to say we'll cover anything that's ever been recorded, whether it's TV or movies or whatever. You let us know, we'll give it the extreme treatment. So I'm going to start off with you, RDV. I know that we've compiled a list of some films here and all that too. So why don't you kind of talk about it and get us set up for it?
Yeah, I also want to point out these are U.S. theater releases. These aren't Netflix or anything like that. These are U.S. theaters. So
actual movie theaters.
Right. You know, what's a theater? Gen Zs. I have a tablet.
It won't play on my phone. It's not. It doesn't work. Yeah.
Right.
That's the next generation.
So as I said, these are January through June. The next this is called Part 1. Part 2 will be July till December. When we get there.
Yeah, and we still may do some of the seasonal ones as well because there's definitely a lot to talk about. But let's get started.
All right, first movie coming out this Friday.
Buzz.
Go ahead, RDV. Start off.
So it's no brand. The Shining with Pixel. So when it comes to Jason Statham movies, he hasn't been that hot of a as far as like the hot topic as far as like must see since The Mechanic, I'd say, or even the what was the other one he was in Transporter. So. Yeah. And he's been in some stupid movies, you know, with Melissa McCarthy stuff, and he's been in Expendables. It was okay, but when I saw the trailer for this, I couldn't believe it. This is Jason Statham actually in a movie I want to see him in. This looks like he's going back to his old school roots, where he's just the main star. Now, the Beekeeper, what we've learned, at least with the trailer, what I've learned is that he's there to basically to fix things. He's basically like a mechanic thing, you know. It's like when things got out of order, he's there to basically to set things straight again. So he's like a off the books black operative, cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
So and doesn't look too jokey. It actually looks pretty good.
By the director who did Suicide Squad.
Yes, David Ayer. He also did Fury, the tank movie with Shia LaBeouf.
The Ayer cut.
Not anymore. He said he's done with DC books or DC movies now. But anyway, yes, it's coming out this Friday. It's a Jason Statham movie. I don't know more to say about it than it's looks pretty good. Well, time will tell if it's a Dolph Lundgren straight to DVD movie type, or if it's actually worth seeing in theaters. But Pixel, do you have any comments about this at all?
Yeah, what did we watch by Guy Ritchie? The Wrath of Man.
Wrath of Man.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a little overdone, but it was still entertaining. Jason Statham is always entertaining. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
You don't like well done? You're more medium rare?
I think he's a great action star. It kind of just looks like he's doing the same thing he always does, which is fine. That's why you're going to see a Jason Statham movie. That's why you're going to go watch The Meg too.
Well, I agree, and it is kind of why you'd go see Jean-Claude Van movies or with Stallone movies. You knew what you're getting, and that's what you kept going for.
Yeah, I'll be the bump on the log here. Basically, say I want to hope that this is entertaining and good, because for a while I agree. I have no problem with him cashing the Chinese money paycheck, and like the Meg 2, which actually was better than the first Meg, even though it still wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But they did some different stuff with it. But I wish he would find a vehicle that would reignite the passion people had about him, going, hey man, who is this guy? He's not a small dude, but he's not a big dude, but he's super athletic. He's got this great body sense. He was an Olympic level diver. And I'm talking, of course, about the Transporter series, even though those got a little campy. I wish that we could just eliminate some of the camp, because I agree, when he does some of the off upbeat kind of movies like The Mechanic, even though that's an old franchise, let's say,
Yes.
I kind of like those a little bit more. So it's not a knock on it. I'm going to see it, and I'm sure we're going to review it here. I just want it to be good, but on the bigger picture, because he's still young enough where he can still be doing some of these things. I just want him to find something that's you go,
Right.
shit, he really nailed it. This is a good fit for him. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be honeypotted.
Exactly. I don't either. Nice,
Right.
nice reference there. Okay,
Yeah,
what's the next film, RDV?
All right, next film coming up is Sunrise, which I believe comes out in January 19th. Yep. It's Guy Pearce. Now, I'm not sure. This looks like a horror movie, supernatural. I don't know, like, because it looks like an upside down cross. I just noticed that now. Before I was like, oh, that looks different.
Yeah.
The sun never sets on evil. So, and I'm not who Alex Pettyfer is, but I think he's been in. He's not the guy that was in the D'Artagnan, the Three Musketeers, is it? That's not him. I think it's a different guy.
I think it's a different guy. This
but-
guy's been in some things, but nothing you would really know.
But my point being is that as long as it's not another Exorcist movie, I'm sorry if the people like those, it's great. But I more into supernatural stuff. I like kind of like the werewolves, vampire stuff. It's been a while since we've gotten a good one. I think that.
But have you seen the Pope's Exorcist?
I don't even want to see Biden's Exorcist. I don't care. No, I'm not. I don't watch the Exorcist movies. Now,
No, it's not connected to the Exorcist movies.
Oh, it's not.
No.
But my point is, Guy Pearce is a great guy. Now, I don't know if he's playing a villain. I don't know what year this is supposed to be set in. This could be an older time movie. Like it's hard to tell by his outfit. This could be 1800s, 1900s, 50s. I don't know.
Well, this is the one I kind of saw that I wanted to get, so I'll pipe in here with a little bit about it. I think it's a great trailer. Guy Pearce is one of those actors I never go, ooh, I want to see a Guy Pearce film. But I always go, well, I really don't know about the film. And then I go, well, who's that? And I go, well, shit, that's Guy Pearce. And then I rewatched it and I was like, it was intriguing enough to me to go, okay, it's probably a vampire type flick, right? Spoiler alert, right?
Yep.
But just the trailer alone, it seemed like it wasn't just going to be a piece of shit one-off. And Guy Pearce usually is in pretty entertaining stuff, and I always find it to be entertaining. And Guy Pearce is kind of not the opposite, but he's different than, say, what we just talked about with Jason Statham.
Mm-hmm.
Guy Pearce is somebody that we go, we'll do different things, and we like some of the stuff that he's in. And I don't know, there's a lot of trailers out there. They all look the same. When I watched this one specifically, because I said, well, what horror movies are going to come out? What might be good? What's the January schlock bullshit that's going to come out like a Megan that's not really scary, but been entertaining? This one looked somewhat dramatic, and so I was intrigued by it. So I'm going to give it a shot at the very least. Or, it's Guy Pearce delivers typically. Pixel, I don't know how you feel about him, but that's why, I picked it for this to be on our list.
I honestly... Like, I can't place the guy, but by just looking at him, I'd have to look up his IMDb.
Lawless, he was the cop in Lawless. He was also in, I believe it was, what is the one where with Maggie Grace? She's in prison, space one. Oh, I forgot what it's called, but anyway, like I said, Lockout. That's what it is, Lockout.
He was in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he's Justin Hammer, I believe. Is he?
No.
Or is it maybe a different guy? Anyway, my point being is that I like Guy Pearce more than just being a bad guy. I like it when he takes on the good roles. He barely does it at all. He barely does it. I said Lockout was the first time I saw him. Like, oh, he's actually in a hero type role, and it was actually really good. It's just a shame that he doesn't do more action movies, where he's a good guy. If anything, he does these kind of movies, and maybe that's just the movie not that he's offered. It's just the ones he chooses because he likes these. Likes being the villain. He likes, doing these different time period, stuff, which is okay, and because he's got a great performance. But, do we have anything else to say about this?
Nope. Time for the next one.
All right. This is a movie. This next movie is a movie that I know that Pixel is looking forward to. I mean, not so much, but it's Dune. Dune Part 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Listen.
Electric Doonaloo. Sorry.
I saw the trailer for Dune 1 and thought it was going to be a slog fest. I thought it was going to be horrible. It didn't look interesting. I thought this is ridiculous. I'm not, I wasn't even going to watch it.
So
But then we were going to review it here. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I was blown away. It was one of my favorite movies of that year. I want to rewatch it, in fact. I think I watched it twice. It is so good. I saw it in theaters. I saw it at home. I loved Dune. Dune Part 2, I'm signed up. I'm already hooked.
And they
story
bumped it up.
continues.
It was supposed to be March 15th, but it's actually up to March 1st now.
Because it was delayed, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be a Thanksgiving release, and it was on our list last year. Because let me say this: whether you like the movie or not, or you think it's a faithful adaptation of it, or how much it should be, I don't think it's really the point. No matter what's going to happen, I think we can all agree this movie is going to look fantastic and feel like a big epic movie.
Mhm.
There's a certain pace that he has here in his films, and I can see where some people say it's a slog. As one of our longtime listeners, occasional guy that would come on with a movie or two here and there, made the comment. He goes, "Oh, I think it's just something along the lines of vapid piece of shit. It's a glorious piece of nothingness." And I'm like, okay, and why? And I could never really get an answer. And the whole point to it is that it's hard to take the world of Dune, which was written, I think, in the early 60s, which is about oil, after World War II, and the current state of the world at that time, 2 generations ago, which a lot of it's still in play today. And that's what spice is supposed to represent. And some people will argue, some hardcore guys at my gym were arguing, no, David Lynch's Dune is the most accurate and faithful one. I'm like, yeah, but it's not as pretty as this one. So this one's definitely going to be pretty. I don't know how gripping it's going to be, but this guy has a great ability to construct stuff in very visual scenes that you go, hey, I don't care if that Ryan Gosling guy just walks around expressionless, because it fits what it is. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to act, because the way he puts the scenes and constructs them all together, you're like, fuck, this is big. You're going to see something big out in there, and he delivers that. So I'm definitely going to watch it too. I know we're going to review it, but I could see where some people might think not too positively about Dune in general.
They need to bring back Sting, and no, not the AEW wrestler, the actual singer.
The Stinginator. That's correct, sir.
Yes. He was in the very original David Lynch version, but bring him back under a different character.
Interesting. Yeah, it was made to be a 2-part movie, I believe, or a movie shot twice. So like Kill Bill, that's how they designed it.
Like I said, they probably shot it all at once, and they're separating. That's all they're doing.
I actually no, it's not a 2-part movie, because I know for a fact they said that Dune Messiah is already being planned.
So it's going to be a trilogy, like most movies are. If it does well, it gets a 3rd movie.
Well, that's how many books there are, I believe. And then they have the one HBO spinoff, which will probably die because David Zaslav.
That's all I got to say about Dune. You guys got anything else?
Not much, other than that.
I'm hyped, boy.
We'll move away from the David Zaslav hate from Pixel. Go over to Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I'm just excited for this, man. This comes out end of March 29th. And I've been waiting for years since they did the crappy reboot with the girls for them to put Paul Rudd. Like I said, like, who would you reboot? If you had to reboot this with guys, Paul Rudd was on my list. And Paul Rudd was awesome in Afterlife. I liked him in that. They're back in New York. They're back in the firehouse. You should get to see all the old equipment coming back. And this, when they said, they promised, Jason Reitman says it's going to be a little more scary, a little more violent. People will die. Obviously, frozen solid. There's no magical cure where everybody's like, "Oh, I'm alive again." No, it's like Mr. Freeze. When you get blasted, you're dead.
Someone said that this movie looks like if movies had DLC.
Yes. Honestly,
that's good. That's really, really good.
I don't care, man. I want more, man.
I want to see it. I still want to see it. I almost tweeted back and said, "So,
can I get the season pass?"
So, because there's 2 posters released. This is the one American, and then there's actually the British version. It's actually a little bit different. Honestly, like I said, I'm excited for this because the fact this is the one franchise that hasn't been ruined by Disney, because Disney can't get their hands on it. This is actually through Sony, and this has actually been the most faithful to the fans. I haven't heard anybody complain about Afterlife that's a fan of the series.
No, only people that were fans of the crappy reboot.
I'll say this: the trailer I thought is interesting because I didn't know there was a Ghostbuster coming out when I saw it. I was like, oh, okay. I don't hate Paul Rudd, but there's something about Paul Rudd that's exactly the same, and I've just noticed that, and it's not a bad thing, but I don't know how to describe it. And
He
so in the
plays a
last,
role in every movie, same role.
yeah,
No one can play Paul Rudd like
I
Paul
know,
Rudd.
I know.
well, but in the last movie is like it was watchable, but I couldn't emotionally connect to the characters. I thought, okay, I get that this is supposed to be like a handoff for younger people, and you know, to reinvent, and I have no problem trying to do that. But when I saw the trailer for here and I recognized that some of the older guys, I guess, are still going to be in here and making cameos, I go, that's a bad sign to me because it's like they almost kind of need it to get the old eyes like me. And we just reviewed the second one, you know, RDV. So
Yeah,
I
and
don't.
and
I'm
they're
going to see it, and I hope it's good.
and they're
But
not cameos; they're full on in the movie this time. Unlike the first movie, Afterlife, they were
at
cameos.
some point, you got to cut the cord, though, don't you?
Well, eventually you will when they move on to the afterlife.
There you go.
But honestly, they're bringing back Slimer. I'm just glad. It's like we're going. It's like after all these years, you're going to your childhood home, and you're like, oh, everything's still kind of same. Some things are new. So obviously, like, you know, but
Hopefully, it'll be fun like the first movie.
it's yes, and
That's what I'm hoping.
that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna
I
be
hate
more.
having to hope, though.
They're talking about there's actually going to be real life consequences. People actually freezing to death because they show you it's a storm comes up, everybody freezes solid stuff. So I'm like, dang, we're the Avengers. That's just kidding. But no, new ghosts, new stuff.
Crossover.
I'm hoping, like I said, I hope we get new proton packs and some new equipment. Bring in Patton Oswalt. Some people were like, oh, I don't like Patton Oswalt. Either do I, but he was great on King of Queens. When the guy actually is not allowed to ad lib and actually sticks to the actual what they want, he's okay.
Like an
You know,
Agents of Shield.
Yeah,
He was great as a clone, a robot, whatever he was.
but like I said, I'm just a huge Ghostbusters mark when it comes to this stuff. So I was like, I can see why some people maybe not into as much, but
Simp.
hey, you're a simp for Dune and a bunch of sand. So
I love sand. It's coarse.
What's the
and
next
dry
element
and
we're going
gets
to?
everywhere.
Fire or wind? All right, but speaking of our next movie, this is Rob's pick, First Omen, and this will
It's
come
like the
out.
last Omen, but
It
first.
comes out April 5th.
It's a prequel to the next Omen, the Omen trilogy, and then the reboot, and then the reimaging. You know, I've always said, and I don't think it's an arguable point that Catholics really have a cornerstone on the exorcism movie market. But then again, I have a soft spot for scary doll movies. So this one, I was going, really? Are they doing, you know, the Omen again? Oh my God, because I didn't know anything about it. And I watched the trailer and I'm like, okay, I think it's going to be a chick get knocked up to, you know, provide the spawn of Satan. Okay, it's not like I've not heard that before and nobody else has too. But
Now
the
it's a dude.
reason the reason why it stood out to me though is the woman that's in it. Okay. She's not been in anything to my knowledge, except for there's a small show that I thought was tremendously hysterically funny on Apple TV called Servant. And Servant is one of those shows that you don't really want to read about it. You just want to watch it. And they're short episodes. They're like 20, 25 minutes an episode. And what it is
Okay.
it's by Shyamalan. And what it is this couple, a married couple, they go to have a child. And there's an unfortunate accident where the child dies. And I'm being serious here. So the way they're going through their grief is they have basically a fake baby that the woman the mother of the baby that passed away, she's learning how to cope with it, and it's very progressive modern kind of storytelling because they're both professionals in their field. They're both they want to have it all sort of thing. They both have tons of money. They both have a relationship. They don't know how to get along, but it's fascinating to watch the dynamic of what goes on because this young woman comes into their life and she's going to be their nanny. And at the end of the first episode, I think it is, or the second one, she picks up the fake baby, and it appears, that's all I'm going to say, that the baby comes to life. And it's just batshit crazy, and it's a Shyamalan kind of thing. And I loved it. I thought she was fantastic in it because she's got this combination of this innocence to her. There's like cult stuff that goes on, and she's playing the whacked out chick in this movie. So I said, damn it, I'm on it. I think last April was the Omen movie that has, of course, Russell Crowe in it, which I thought was
Yeah.
funny, and so I liked it. And Russell
They're
Crowe,
both
he
sexers.
could do no wrong in my he could do no wrong in my book. Right now, she's 1-for-1 with the show, so I'm going to see it with her in it because she's just a whack job and you don't know anything about her. So if anything like that sounds interesting or intriguing, hopefully it'll be a little bit different than your typical stuff. Because I'm going to be honest, I watched The Exorcism with the twin chicks in there. There was an idea in it, but the execution kind of failed to me a little bit. But I like the idea of the girls getting lost at school and all that too. And I was like, damn it, I need a good Exorcism movie. It's been a while. And
I just remember Damien the grown up to beat Dr. Grant, and he went to Jurassic Park.
You know what? He ended up being present, but I knew all about him before he was all that too. So to see him turn into that, I went, wow, the Omen's kind of chilled out in his middle age.
Right. I was going to say that one thing, though, looking up for this poster, I was like, type of the first Omen movie. Quit going back to the 70s. It took me a while to figure out where this poster was, because I'd seen it before. So, but our next movie is a movie that Rob and I are actually both excited. I think Pixel is too. Godzilla versus Kong: The New Empire. Basically, another movie coming out this year, just like to Shinzo when he had last year, or -1, where Godzilla is going to be a dick.
So this one.
Yes, that's one giant dick. Lizzo, as I like to call him, it looks like he's going to have pink instead of blue this time around. I'm not sure what's going on with that, or if that was something else.
It's just a power up, man. Like, people are going,
allegedly, it's the show
they made Godzilla genderqueer. Like, shut up.
Well,
no, a lot of people initially think that because of the traditional boys blue, girls pink, but they're describing it as he's even more powerful now, and it's gone up. But seriously, it's kind of like a level up thing with his breath.
I guess
yeah, but that wasn't. But people pointed out that move, like the pink scales, are from classic Godzilla movies too.
Sure,
like it's not. This is 2024. No,
I just want to point out something though. I did, everybody gets flack for the Matthew Broderick one, but I like the fact that the Godzilla is able to reproduce and actually have multiple. So that makes it even bigger problem later on down the road.
Did we do a review of Godzilla versus Kong last year?
I don't think so, but I think we talked about it a little bit.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, we'll have to do a review over it. Same with -1 as well.
I will say this: -1, best movie of the year. Godzilla being a dick is how he should be, in my opinion. It's a serious film. It's one of those things where you don't read about it, you just watch it. I hated the characters until the end. Well, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, at the end is what I was like, yes.
But it ties it all up. And unfortunately, these Godzilla movies, I watch them, but they're popcorn. They're not what I call serious Godzilla films. But any chance to see Godzilla on a big screen, oh hell yeah, you're gonna go see it, right?
I'm just glad that Godzilla's not a girl in this one. We have cross species. We have Godzilla Kong babies.
But the way you write this though, Godzilla and Kong teaming up, they should get their ass kicked. I mean, they should, but
they should jump off a building.
They're a tag team now, right? You got the one guy that's got the title belt in Godzilla. You got Kong, who's the #1 challenger. You got his ass beat. You put up a good fight. Okay, best 2 out of 3 falls. Godzilla wins 2-1. That's how it is. And now they need to come out and get shell shocked. That's
what I want them to do is jump off of a building and die, and then we get the other guys.
See, the thing is, somebody also said on the internet that the thing that's great is that you can have a movie like Godzilla -1 and Shin Godzilla, and you can still have the American Godzilla ones that are popcorn films. You're watching basically an action movie with giant monsters fighting each other, and it's great because it's fun. It's just fun. There's nothing serious. There's no message behind this.
I love he talks.
They just want the giant monkey and the big lizard to fight the big boy, okay?
You don't have to talk with your hands when we can't see, okay?
Just I know. I'm sorry. It's just natural.
Okay. It's his hands flying around. It's gonna be a popcorn flick.
Did I see Godzuki in the trailer?
I don't know. I haven't watched the trailer for this, but I saw it. Like I think I saw a teaser trailer last year, or something like that. But I don't know. Are they bringing back the kid from the first one? I mean, how? That's the other thing. These movies are like, is it Godzilla and King Kong, or is it just people? And then, hey, they're there. Like I said, I don't want to have it where it's just focused. Like, well, at least the other show on Apple TV, it's called Monarch, so it's based on the people, and all. This should be based on them, and then not really many stories with the people. Like I said, I just want more carnage, man.
I'll pop in here for a split second before our next movie and point out because Cartoons and Comic Studio in chat. First of all, Cartoon, congratulations, you're our that 1,000th subscriber. It just popped up here, so thanks.
Now you gotta pay us money.
That's a pretty special moment. We're on edge here, going, oh, it's getting ready to turn over, and then I just saw while we were doing our stream that you had popped in on that. I'll also say this about Monarch is that I have no problem with it being the story of Monarch because that's what it is. I can't stand the put together progressive nature of the young kids because I don't give a shit about any of them. They're written horribly, but the old backstory and the two Russells in it, it's like two different shows to me. It's a hate watch for me because I'm going to go watch the next episode here probably tonight here when we're done and bitch and complain about it, but then go, damn it, Kurt Russell's so good. But there's not a lot of kaiju in it. Let's be honest. There'll be more in this movie than in the entire series.
If someone could just cut out the Kurt Russell, his son's like those clips, the past flashbacks, I would just watch those.
Yeah, it's really good. It really is good.
I don't mind the other story.
Simp.
I watch it for Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell. I watch it for them. They're obviously the main draw. I don't mind the others. Like they're pissy fit about, oh, my father's dead. Oh, well, my father's dead. Your father, he's my father.
It's turn the channel heat, go away heat. It's tough.
Grab a Snickers bars. You turn into George Bailey when you get salty.
All right, what's our next film?
No, if I want to sound like George Bailey, I have to go a little more like
so this comes out, I said Godzilla comes out on actually April 12th. Our next movie coming out on April 26th is Civil War.
Good God.
This is not my choice, but this, I don't know. Who's going to see it in IMAX? That's what I want to know.
Boo.
But the writers of, hold on. First of all, it's the writers of 28 Days Later. Great movie. Ex Machina. Wow.
Good, very good.
Yeah, bad ending for the guy. Annihilation, Snore. That was Jennifer Garner one.
Not Jennifer Garner, but the other one.
Or
maybe
Portman.
she was in it.
Natalie Portman. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this looks very political. This is like what happens if we decide to rise against, maybe they have us win. I don't know.
No. They have three different
government
subsections.
Approved, and government approved.
The government has one, then the Florida Alliance, and then California and Texas. The only way that could happen is if all the Californians invaded Texas.
No, it's look,
outnumbered them. Come on.
California, very obviously you call it a leftist state and all this kind of stuff. Bottom line is it's an extremely red state, always has been, and a big chunk of it is, and like the majority of other places, unless it's the capital city or has a huge college type presence for it, most counties are red, and in California, and the whole succession thing in California is very old. It's written in Texas Constitution that they can succeed. That was part of the thing, I think, with the Civil War. I'm certainly no historian, but I've had many conversations about it, so it seems far-fetched. And of course, a lot of the political people, which we try to avoid when we're discussing movies, unless it's germane to the topic, is that it's predictive programming to set us up for whatever chicanery that may or may not go on later this year here in the United States. I will sit there and say this, in terms of triggering people to be interested in talking about this film, they did a phenomenal job because all you needed to see was the multi-fingernail painted sniper with the colored short buzz haircut, that one still shot goes, what the fuck? And makes you want to see it and how they're doing it. And so you're right. Are they going to let the which side is going to win?
We talked about how the Ghostbusters.
The thing is that's also ridiculous is that this is a movie. If A24 is already starting to get into television, this is clearly an idea for a series. And they went ahead and said, "Oh no,
like Bands of Brothers." That was like what, 10 or 12 episodes?
Yeah, but do we have a problem with this type of movie coming out? Because I certainly don't.
I was just gonna say, I
have
got
no
made fun of.
interest in it.
You guys made a big deal about it was Pixel Ghostbusters is looks like a DLC. This looks like a DLC on Call of Duty.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So
I gotta say that poster is cool.
and
The
there
poster's
have been.
cool.
I'm pretty sure there have been games in the past for the call, but I remember there was a game about 10 or 15 years ago about this where you're fighting on American soil. It was a futuristic thing, and it wasn't Call of Duty though. It was something else.
I wonder if this will be compared to Red Dawn a lot. So I'm sure we'll as this gets closer, we'll
Only
have
it's kids.
John Willis did that, and he's very pro
I mean,
certain things. This
who
I don't know what to expect with this, and that's why I think they did a good job marketing it.
Who doesn't want to climb to the top of the torch and then have a sniper rifle and just pick people off?
It's a good poster.
It's a terrible place. Wait.
Until you get hit by an RPG.
Terrible place to be a sniper. It's cool
well,
for a poster, but think about in conjunction where people actually are.
All I'm going to say is Marvel DC films. So let's just end it right there, okay?
All right. As much as we're crapping on this one, there's been a lot of crap flying in the next one coming out May 24th. It's Kingdom of the Planet Apes.
What are y'all talking about?
What monkeys? They throw crap.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a movie that I am so excited for. I have loved the since the reboot with what was his name? Harry Osborn.
Mark Wahlberg. James Franco did. Mark Wahlberg started, and then they did the James Franco one.
No, it was the other way around.
No.
James Franco was first. He raised Caesar, the first monkey.
He's talking about the one that was Charlton Heston's last particular role in like 2000, 2001. Before there was the trilogy.
With Mark Wahlberg. He goes and he comes out. Yeah.
Well, I'm just talking about from what I saw there, following through. I've loved it. I'm so excited for this. I'm really interested to see further. This is the only exposure I have to Planet of the Apes. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't.
Please don't expose yourself.
Yeah. I really liked it. This is set in like the far future now. I'm hyped.
So, Rob, what was that movie with Matthew Broderick? We had to free the chimpanzees from the testing facility.
I didn't watch that crap in the 80s because it's like, when you see the original Planet of the Apes with Heston, you're like, oh man, it's a mindfuck. It's a great film. It's got a great ending, right?
Charlton Heston movie. I watched all of them. They were good.
Yeah, there's obviously the book series and everything too. There's a television series as well here, so obviously it's got staying power because it's an interesting way to kind of look at humans from a different perspective here. I think my whole thing about this movie is I'm definitely going to see because I've liked them. I thought they were done well, but I'm going, where is this going? Are they just going to have another movie or two until it kind of goes back to the original movie from way back when? I don't know, because I think it's been a while since the last film had come out of the trilogy, and I don't mind it. I want it to be good, but honestly, in Pixel, I don't know if you flesh this out for me. I don't know what to expect from this one.
I mean, I've read a little bit about it. It's set sometime after Caesar dies. Like, the movie's been out for years. I don't have to worry about spoilers. After Caesar died, the kingdom has continued, and the trailer itself does look interesting. I haven't been to a movie theater in like 2 months, so it's hard for me to actually recall what I saw. But I just remember like every time I watched it, I was like, yes, I'm going to see that, because those movies, the ones that I saw, starting with James Franco and everything after that, I really, really enjoyed.
I love that. I want to point out, just by the poster alone, I rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh, this is Last of Us with a monkey on a horse.
Well,
he's got an eagle.
That right there basically is Charlton Heston with Nova on the back, at the end of the first film. If the viewers that are familiar with that film know the surprise ending to it.
If anything, I might watch this movie just for the scenery, looking at everything all grown up the cities. That's what I loved about that. When you watch Logan's Run at the end of the movie, is like they discover the ruins of the Capitol building and all that stuff, the White House. I love dystopian where abandoned cities like this, ghost towns.
Yeah.
It's just you can just put any story in there, and I'm just like, dude, I love the scenery, I love this stuff. So This is gonna. I don't think this is gonna be an IMAX, but if you do, I would say recommend seeing an IMAX. That way you can see flying monkeys. as
Well,
they come
I
at you.
thought this is an example of a movie where I thought the CGI was done fairly well, certainly better than, again, most comic book movies and Marvel movies,
Right?
that sort of thing. And my issue with it, again, going back to a comment Maranya made earlier about content being king, which is my reply to her about, it can look good, but it still has to be good, and that's true. But when in doubt, if you can do it well, like they've done here, that's great, because I know they did like uh, physical modeling and then put like a skin on them or whatever too. So a lot of that stuff was really good. And this movie franchise did a great job of saying, hey, if we really try to do a great job at it, it can come out good. And so I hope it's even better now with time being passed and all that. My only concern is this, I mean, I can understand them breaking off and doing their thing, but again, like Westworld, do I really give a shit about robots or something that's non-human? Not
That's
really.
it. That's
So
what I was
that's my
going to
problem.
say. The only thing you need to do is care about the monkey.
Yeah, but why do I care about a monkey?
Well, first of all,
It's a very smart monkey.
Oh,
honestly,
The
I would
story
rather.
of Caesar was great. Like through those three movies, him going ahead. That's everything. That's everything James Cameron wanted out of Avatar. He wanted us to care about the stupid blue people, but the monkeys, the movies actually make you care as it's developing, as he's growing, and then he grows to a point where, oh, this isn't right anymore. These aren't just animals without thoughts, without minds of their own. They evolved.
Yeah. When it comes to as far as Caesar, I only saw the first one in this. And the race between Caesar, James Franco, and then John Lithgow. The whole thing is that John Lithgow's got Alzheimer's, and he's trying to cure it. And so it is just a very emotional movie. And I went back and saw the second one. I think what was the third one with Woody Harrelson or the second one?
I don't even remember.
I just never went
That's
back
the
and
thing.
watched it. It's just I didn't hate the movie. It didn't roll my eyes. It just didn't capture my attention. I saw the first one. Okay. Then I realized like they're probably gonna do like 6 or 7 of them. They're gonna do a full reboot. And I miss the face prosthetics they put on the people.
No.
I
Yes.
do too. Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
Absolutely not.
I miss Nova.
Yeah.
Loincloths.
But like I said, if this is your jam, more power to you. This is a movie I think it might do well, but then again, lately with other movies, a lot of people just aren't going to theaters. But then again, there are people who do show up for Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yep.
So it's
We'll
a
be reviewing
crapshoot
sure.
game as far as what movies people like.
Right.
But I remember people liking the first movie and even that got flack. But then again, so we'll find out. But going on to our next movie, which I believe comes out in June 7th, my birthday. So it's a special present from John Wick to me, Ballerina.
Anna de Arms is a very good birthday.
I know, right?
Right?
So the character we got to see in the final John Wick 4 movie, she was, but it was played by a different actress. When John Wick goes to the family to get reinstated, welcome back in the family so he can get his status back. The girl, you saw a girl doing ballet dancing on the stage. That's supposed to be this character, and that's character, but it's played by somebody else.
It's supposed to be the world. It's supposed to be that setting. I don't think it's supposed to be that specific character.
No, it was. They actually mentioned that it's actually her character.
I don't know if this is actually going to come out because it's been delayed to hell.
Well, they're saying June 7th, so don't crap at my birthday, bro.
It's the current release date, so that's what we're going with.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. And like I said, I look forward to this. Anna de Armas proved that she was better than James Bond in the last James Bond movie.
I mean, yeah,
her section, No Time to Die, and I was like, who cares about him? And more Anna de Armas kicking ass and shooting guns. And I've always liked girl assassins because normally we get guys going around killing people, but girls are able to move in and move out. No one really pays attention to more because the guy is usually the threat. But you give a girl a gun. I think there was a movie called Anna, which is kind of the same thing like this, a Russian spy. And I just what more do you want? It's Anna. It's not. It's also hold on. It's also Lance Reddick's final movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Keanu Reeves is in this movie.
People will see it because of that.
I didn't know that. Well,
yes.
I see. I didn't know he filmed for it. Okay.
This is his last
Well,
on-screen film.
I was definitely going to see it because Anna de Armas.
I know.
Really? Am I going
But,
to say no? No.
Yep.
But yeah, no. Now I have to see it.
You know, I'll be the odd man out here. Yeah, I'll end up seeing it or whatever, but you know, the reason why she stood on the Bond film, yeah, she's young, she's good looking, she's whatever. She has a look, I would say. I don't know how good of an actress she is. I'm tired of seeing these 100-pound girls wield guns that are, you know, heavy and all this stuff and do everything flawlessly. It sickens me. And it's not just them, it's just the way the current stuff is saying. I get a little bit numb to the John Wick stuff, even though they do things creatively. It takes away from the, I think, the power of what's supposed to be going on in a situation to show us, oh, great, choreography is taking over fucking everything. And so to me, hey, more power to you if it ends up being a great, spin-off series for you, that's fine. I just think female assassins should do stuff differently than male assassins. I'm not saying not shoot and kill, but you know, why not have someone that's like a really good sniper? Because female snipers are really the best, actually. But you know, all the sniper movies are male, and so it's like they're all interchangeable. And everything I now see, it's like the same choreography, the same stunt group. Everyone's trying to outdo everybody else and flips and this and that. And her in the James Bond film with their friggin' heels on, doing all that stuff. Just no. But then even though Pixel, you and I are reviewing all the James Bond in order, and we haven't even gotten up to the Timothy Dalton ones yet. When we get to the Craig ones, I'm going to be drinking heavily because they're so bad. And I'm not saying she's bad. It's just you take somebody like her. She stands out. I'm glad she's getting a spinoff, but God, Bond is just falling off the cliff so bad. And
Yeah, but her
I hope it's good
part
for her.
in the
But
Bond films was one of the best, and
Yeah.
she never did anything that was so unrealistic. She
she's
carried a
fighting in
handgun.
heels, bro,
Okay.
and flipping and this and that and this and that. And you know what? She's got that cutesy little sparkle behind her eyes, that mischievous smile. That's great. I think she's got a heel persona that if she laid into that instead of going the easy route, it would be better for her when she gets older. I do. I really mean that. And that's a compliment. I don't think everybody can do that, but I think she's got that in her just based off of other stuff I've seen her in. So we'll just see what happens because I'm sure we're going to review Ballerina. But you know what? I didn't even know this movie was coming out until we started prepping for tonight. So I was like, okay, I was got to see what it's about because I'm like, well, who's that? That she looks familiar. Is that where it's coming from? Oh, okay, I get
I
it.
don't think it's coming out this year. I think
Well, that's fine. We'll see what happens.
It was supposed to come out last year because of the strike. It got pushed back to this year.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. It's just like
All
not
right.
even a trailer.
All right,
That's
so
the
our
thing.
final movie tonight, and this movie comes out on, well, the first chapter comes out on June 28th. This is Pixel's pick.
Yeah, this is one of my picks. I am very intrigued because Kevin Costner is great. We all love Kevin Costner, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
He dances with wolves. How can I like him?
And him in a Western, a big two-part is supposed to be an epic. I'm not sure how epic it will be, but I'm going to see it. I'm kind of on the fence. I picked it because I will see this, but I'm not sold that this is worth a two-part theatrical event. And I don't think it's going to bring in the eyes or put enough butts in the seats.
I agree with you. I agree with you. No,
go ahead, RD.
I was just going to say, I agree with him because this would have been a solid movie back when Tombstone came out. When the 90s, we still had the Westerns going. We have Yellowstone, but that's a TV series. This is a movie. I don't think Westerns will really do well on the big screen. But again, it might. It all depends. What's the story behind this? Is it going to be a slow burn and like with a little action? I don't know who else is in here other than Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner is great, but I mean, Kevin Costner currently also wrote part of this too as well. So I don't know. We'll see how it is. It's but when I saw this Kevin Costner rise in American Saga, I thought of Philo American Tale right away.
Yeah,
just but weird playing the name.
I want to add to that. It's not that I don't think that Westerns could bring in an audience. I don't think that this one will. Like the trailer itself was interesting because I saw, oh, it's Kevin Costner. It's a Kevin Costner movie with Kevin Costner. That's it. I'm a fan of Kevin Costner, if you can't tell. But that not everyone is that. Just because it's him, they're not going to just go for that. That's a select number of Yellowstone fans like myself that will do that.
Throw Kurt Russell in there. Throw some,
I think it's interesting when we talk about westerns because we've definitely reviewed a few older films on here, definitely some westerns, and I just marvel at the fact that again, maybe roughly 100 years ago, still more than half of the U.S. population was living on farms and coming into cities and stuff. So you still have this sense of westerns and how powerful they were, and it's obviously referenced in pop culture with TV shows and movies and everything too. And it's we've talked about how it's died over the generations. And so I think there's enough uniqueness about it. One being Kevin Costner, because Kevin Costner typically is a draw. He definitely has the older fans lined up. I don't watch the 50 gazillion Tyler Sheridan things that are out there, but we have reviewed Tulsa King. And I know a lot of people really like these westerns. And it's a thing that's going on right now. Well, but Tyler's gimmick is everything's kind of like a modern western in a way, and so it's a hot thing right now and has been for years and probably will be for a year or two till something replaces it. And I don't know anything about this film, and I'm sure that I'll see it. I don't have the heart on for Kevin Costner, a lot of people did, but as he's gotten older and I've seen him in some films, he's grown on me because he's just a different type of presence on screen. Go ahead.
I was gonna say who I'd probably cast in here. I mean, I don't know who the cast is on him, but I would put Jeff Bridges. He's hot right now. I put him in this. I'd probably throw in Kurt Russell.
Russell is a gimme.
Maybe throw in Kevin Bacon or
you got Michael Rooker in here. You've got Sam Worthington. You've got people that look like they belong in her. Jeff Fahey, for God's sakes.
Like I would say, if you're doing it depends what it's gonna be. Old dogs in a sense story, and these are older guys. He's an older guy. He's he's a sheriff or whatever. But I mean, if you want to get the people into the westerns, bring in the guys who were in the western movies back in the day, and then throw in some other older names. The nostalgia. People will come in for a Kevin Bacon movie, or they'll come in for Kurt Russell, Jeff Bridges. Like I said, Jeff Bridges, the old man. Throw in the guy from Reacher, or something like that, or like you said, there's some big names you can put in this, and you can. I mean, I would keep Chris Pratt out though. Chris Pratt's not a serious guy,
right? Exactly. Kevin Costner, whenever he's had his hand involved in stuff rather than just acting, he's like a lot of people. He has a vision, and you could sit there like we talked about Dune earlier tonight, right? Mm-hmm. So again, no matter how good or how bad the film is, let's be honest. It's like I say, it's gonna look good. So when in doubt, if it's kind of sexy or looks good or it's stylish, that can sway you a little bit, okay?
True.
I love Brian De Palma. I think he's got a great sense of humor. I think he gets a bit cynical and he has some fun with himself, but he makes a certain kind of movie and people go, oh, he's a Hitchcock ripoff. Everybody steals. If you've seen one Quentin Tarantino film, let's be honest, you've seen them all. But you see him because you like what he does, what to expect, what to get from it. Kevin Costner has that as well, but I think it's a bit more subdued. And I agree, RDV. I think this is going to be more of an old-timerish kind of thing. Not sure what the plot is or anything else about it, but it's intriguing enough where I go, I'm sure we'll probably cover it. If it wasn't Kevin Costner and it was just, insert actor here, I don't know that I would see it.
Well,
but because it's Kevin Costner, I have to think about it. Oh, God, people love Unforgiven. Yeah.
Unforgiven. It had two old guys coming in for one last round, to defend someone.
Tombstone. People love Tombstone. And a couple years ago, they redid True Grit, right? And that was good. That was a solid remake. Very faithful.
Like I said, there are some stars that can carry this, and this being an older Kevin Costner kind of film like this, you're not going for young blood. Bring in the older ones. Bring back Kurt Russell. Bring back put Jeff Bridges into one of these, and definitely you can get that old kind of early '90s, late '80s kind of Western feels Hollywood did. But we'll find out, man.
The last one we did. Extreme Prejudice. That was a very good Western feeling type movie in modern age with Nick Nolte.
Yes.
That was good. That was really good.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, it all depends what the story is. Is it a guy who's just drifting into town like was it Pale Drifter was it called? Or something that's the Clint Eastwood one the one he walks into town and he basically hang him high, I think it was. And dude, spaghetti westerns are great. You can still get them going, and they're still popular. But I said everyone's on the superhero kick, and and other people are kind of like in the fatigue as far as so. Who knows? Maybe this does well but it all depends what the advertising is going to be like. Is it going to get a big push for advertising? People might sleep on this, or it could be, or people might go see it and it sucks. well, it's a crapshoot these days. But as far as 2024 movies, that is it for what we have here. I hope you guys maybe are looking forward to see some stuff. We now can see Pixel now. Let me put the photo back up. No, honestly, I saw a few movies on here that I actually kind of want to look and I'm probably gonna check out Dune and Dune Part 2. Wait, it can't be any worse than Rebel Moon on Netflix. I'm sorry, I love Zack Snyder, but that movie is boring. Great looking, but boring.
I'm gonna wait and watch his 3-hour cut that's coming out. I'm not joking. It's happening. They did a director's cut for some reason. I want to shoot.
Yeah, everybody saw Barbie, and nobody saw anything else last year. I'm not mad at Barbie. I'm not going to say anything about it. I did not see it. I don't plan to see it.
It was new. It was
I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean, so typically do reviews like this where we just kind of take a look at some movies that we're going to take a look at over this year. We also usually do one like for the spring, the summer, fall, horrors, this and that. We do themes and all that, but typically our routine is Tuesday nights, sometimes Thursday nights we're dropping some stuff, and of course Sunday night here. So we're trying to expand a little bit more. That's why with some of y'all that have been requesting movies, and we got a request for Blue Steel, I wanted to say out publicly, it's got Joel Silver in it, Jamie Lee Curtis. It's definitely a late 80s, kind of early 90s flick. RDV and I typically handle that stuff. Professor Pix and I lean more towards the TV. We've done Dark Shadows, Twin Peaks, all of us. We've done Haven. We've done a few things too. So we're finishing up Mission Impossible Season 1, the original TV show. And then after that, we're going to decide what's going to take us on there. And we're doing the occasional Bond review going in order because Pixel, being the young 20-something, needs to see them all in order so we can talk about them. And like I say, here on the Extreme Movie Show, we have 3 different generations of people looking at films to have a different kind of viewpoint to it. That's what we're going to talk about. So it's really important. If you guys have some, let us know.
I think after these next 2 episodes or reviews you're doing for Mission Impossible, you have about 6 more.
3 more weeks, correct.
3 more streams. So, so that'll be wrapping up soon. And if you guys haven't checked those out, do check those out. I've been tweaking some of the names so you guys can associate them apart different. But if you guys do have a movie that you want us to review it's not in our library down below in our playlist stuff, please let us know in the comment section below. We'll check it out and we'll get to it as soon as we can. But we want to thank you guys for subscribing. For those who are subscribed, if you haven't done so, please do so now. Tell your friends. We're trying to get more people recurring on this channel. This channel has been kind of dead for the past, or is stagnant, not dead. We're trying to make it more lively. We're going to have on streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we're going to do Sunday nights as well. So if you guys like movie content and you just interact with us,
talk to us. We're lonely.
No, but you would say we differentiate ourselves besides having, like I say, 3 different generations. We also don't really get into the black pill, the red pill, the blue pill, the politics of this, that we do not do any of that with films, and we can talk about any of those kinds of films. We don't let that be a factor. We're not that kind of a stream. Oh my God, with all the fake photos and everybody copying each other. We do not do that. This is totally off the cuff. We haven't talked to each other, planned anything out other than what movie we're going to talk about. Boom, go, roll it. Let's record it live, fresh, and organic. That's what makes us different.
Yes. And one of the TV shows we're talking about upcoming is either Miami Vice or TG Hooker. So we might have Miami Vice Tuesday nights or Miami nights, or we're gonna have Hooker nights.
Or both.
Back to back Miami and Hooker reviews.
Anything else you need to plug tonight, RDB?
Go over after you're done here. Go over to Geeky Puppet Show where Pixel and I will be over there, and we'll be reading some old classic Marvel books from the 60s. So. Yes.
It's going to be a delight, just like the ads would say, a big delight. And everybody, don't bite us.
With that being said, I hope you guys had fun, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you probably on Tuesday.
Yeah, good night. Stay extreme. Good night now.
Good night, guys.
This was not a Dan Curtis production.